Hello and welcome to the XQCPA channel, where we share with you the latest and greatest tax tips and business news. Have you ever wondered what your paycheck would look like in other countries? America is known for its low taxes, and rightfully so. Other nations around the world have much higher tax revenue percentages of their GDP. But does this mean that if you want to pay the least amount of taxes possible, you should live in the US? Let's explore that. In the United States, everyone who earns some form of income, whether you are an employee or self-employed, must pay federal income taxes. Some states and cities also charge their residents local taxes, but for the purposes of this video, we'll focus on federal individual income tax. In addition to income taxes, U.S. employees must pay FICA taxes, which funds Social Security and Medicare. So, if your annual income is $40,000, without claiming any deductions on your tax return, you will pay $4,568 of income tax alone, 10% of the first $11,600, and 12% of the remaining $28,400. This is why it is important to maximize your deductions, so you don't have income being taxed at higher brackets. On top of this, you need to pay FICA taxes, which as an employee is 6.2% for Social Security and 1.45% for Medicare. If we do take the standard deduction as a single filer of $14,600, we'd end up paying $2,816 in income tax. Add our FICA taxes, $3,060, which are taxed on gross income, and we pay $5,876 in total. This leaves us with $34,124 to take home. Meanwhile, in the UK, you are taxed on income that is over the personal allowance. That means that the first £12,570 you earn are tax-free. Let's convert our example $40,000 into £31,663. After subtracting the personal allowance, you are left with £19,093. You are then subject to the income tax. Rather than brackets, the UK uses bands. We would fall under the basic rate of 20%. This results in about £3,819 paid in income tax. On top of this, in the UK, you must pay national insurance. Using the most common option, we'd pay about £1,527 in national insurance, leaving us with £26,317 in take-home pay, or $33,262.06. Let's check out Germany. If you are single and working only one job, you'll be in tax class 1. Converting our $40,000 to euros, we have €37,410 in annual income. A common myth is that if you live in Germany, you'll have to pay 45% of your salary to the government. While the tax rate for income between €11,604 and €66,760 does range up to 42%, it's very unlikely for someone to actually pay that exorbitant rate. What does add up are all the additional taxes that must be paid on top. By paying public health insurance, public pension, and unemployment insurance, the actual taxation rate of our income adds up to more like 32%. This leaves us with €25,482 for ourselves, or $27,250.45. Let's take a trip to China. First, let's convert our $40,000 to renminbi, which is about 290,440 yuan. The standard basic deduction is 60,000, so we have 230,440 yuan in taxable income. We take this 230,400 and are taxed at a rate of 20%, minus the quick deduction for our bracket, 16,920. So we end up with 29,168 yuan paid in income tax. In addition to the income tax, you must pay Social Security contributions. These rates vary in different cities, but we'll use Beijing for this example. The current rate in 2024 for Beijing is 10.5%, which includes pension, medical, and unemployment. With our base pay, this is an extra 30,496 yuan to be paid. Additionally, you must make a contribution to the housing fund, which is between 5 and 12% in Beijing. Assuming that we are being taxed at the maximum of 12%, that is 34,853 yuan for the housing fund. In total, we are paying 94,517 yuan. We started out with 290,440 and ended up with 195,923, which converts back into $26,977.72. Finally, we look at Japan. In Japan, our $40,000 is worth 6,384,820 yen. From there, we have the earned income deduction for employed individuals and the personal exemption to lower our taxable income. These lower our taxable income by about 1,706,964 and 480,000 yen respectively, leaving us with 4,187,856 yen to be taxed at the national level. At our bracket, the income tax is calculated at 20% minus 427,500 yen, or about 410,071 yen paid. We then need to add a 2.1% surtax on that amount. In our case, that's about 8,612 yen. In 2024, the Japanese government introduced the fixed tax reduction, which is 10,000 yen per person. In total, we will pay 408,683 yen in national taxes. Now we have the local inhabitants tax. This includes the prefectural and municipal tax, which are 4% and 6% respectively. Now, the local inhabitants tax has a different personal exemption, which in this instance is 430,000 yen. This changes our taxable income to 4,237,856. Therefore, our local inhabitants tax is 423,786 yen. In total, our Japanese tax liability is 832,469 yen, leaving us with about 5,552,351 yen, or $34,770.65. Let's conclude. The US is actually not the nation where you take home the most money after federal taxes. That would be Japan with $34,770.65. The US is second with $34,124. Next is the UK with $33,262.06. Germany is the second lowest with only $27,250.45, and at the very bottom is China with $26,977.72. Of course, we must remember that this is in the scenario of earning the equivalent of $40,000, and the rate of taxation varies between income levels in all of these nations. Also keep in mind that the cost of living can be massively different between each country, so higher or lower take-home pay might not make much of a difference in quality of life. What you should take away from this is that in order to pay less taxes in the US, you need to maximize your deductions. The standard deduction is an ideal option for many people, but if you're a business owner looking to really pay less taxes, you should start tax planning ahead of time. By diligently working to reduce your tax liability with IRS-approved tax avoidance strategies, you can grow your wealth immensely without giving it all away to the government. We're already halfway through 2024, so don't waste any more time and start your tax planning journey with our very own book, How to Grow Your Wealth Through Tax Planning, available exclusively on the XQCPA online store. Prefer personalized advice? Reach out to the tax team at XQCPA for strategies and guidance tailored to your unique position. Thanks for watching today's video exploring different taxation rates around the world. Were you surprised by the end result? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. As always, we will appreciate it if you like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this in the future. We will see you in the next video. Goodbye.